いやあ、諸君。当主様は具合が優れられないとのことだ。せっかくこうして1年ぶりの会合に集まってくれた諸君と昼食を共にできないことを非常に残念にしておられた。
well, what can you do?
ゴーダ、ランチを始めてくれ。
Yeah, might as well.
かしこまりました。それでは本日の昼食を始めさせていただきます。
南條先生、そんなにお父様のお具合は悪いの？せめて顔くらい見せてくれてもいいわよね。
Yeah, not even that.
体調というよりは機嫌ですな。こればかりはつける薬がありませんので。
おいおい、機嫌ってまたかよ。そりゃないぜ。こっちとら秋のクソ忙しい時期にスケジュール都合してご機嫌伺いに来てるんだ。それをよ。
よかったじゃないか、ルドルフ。ご機嫌は伺えたんだ。それとも不機嫌な親父殿を私に代わりお前が説得して連れてきてくれるのかね。
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about Rudolph, but if I were in his place, I would pass on that.
まさか。
Rudolph shrugged. Apparently, though Rudolph was willing to be indignant at how self-centered his father was, he wasn't particularly disappointed to be spared a face-to-face meeting.
夕食までにはその機嫌治りそうなの？クロス兄さん。
そんなことは知らんよ。親父殿に直接聞いてみるといい。
Yeah, and good luck with that.
もっとも声をかけない方が機嫌の治りは早いと思うがね。
源氏さんだけだよ、じい様の機嫌を直せるのは。情けないぜ。自分の親の機嫌を使用人に直させるんだからよ。
ジェシカ、余計なことは言わなくていい。
She planned for her complaint to be heard only by her cousins, but it had reached even Krause's ears. Scolded, Jessica scowled and turned away, sulking.
機嫌がうんぬんってことは、病状はそんな悪くないんじゃねえの？元気がないってんならともかく、機嫌が悪いってのは少なくとも気はしっかりしてる証拠だぜ。
I don't know about that one. I mean, bad mood can lead to that too, after a while.
おじい様は特に強い気力をお持ちだからね。でも、体が必ずしもそれに伴えるとは限らないよ。
Yeah.
去年からずっと、余命3ヶ月って言われ続けてる。最初の診断が正しいなら、おじい様は気力だけで流らえてるってことになる。
Or by black magic.
気遣ってあげないといけないよ。
Lunch started with the family head's seat still empty. Yeah, I guess so. Actually, hold on a second. Now I'm remembering this. I did talk about Erica before, that she would be inside the mansion, but apparently she is nowhere to be found. What the hell? I thought that she would be in the mansion by now. Like, where is she? The man who should be sitting there had already grown old. Well, actually, you know what? Thinking about it a little bit more, nobody ever mentioned Erica's name up until now, and it doesn't really seem like there's any connection to Erica at this point. Her name is Erica Furudo, so yeah, she is definitely not part of the Ushiromiya family. Nor did I hear any servants talk about her, like having any connections to Erica. Unless... Ah, you gotta be kidding me. You're telling me that she's not even gonna come here? I have been invited by her to this mansion and she's not even gonna take part in this? What the hell? You cannot just do that! Who does she think she is? A mastermind plotting an evil scheme? You know what? I think I see what is going on here. She must be inside the mansion. But given that she has no connection to anyone around here, she's hiding instead, watching me from the shadows. Well, I'm not gonna fall for that sort of stuff again. I may be naive at times, but I was not born yesterday. Erika? Alright, well, you know, despite that, I find this whole thing with Kinzo quite interesting, actually. When it comes to this Beatrice woman, I guess we found a reason why he is doing black magic in his spare time. And for that matter, I guess that's one reason why there's a lot of English influence around here. With the guest house, with some parts of this house, and hell, now that I'm thinking about it, even the Tori gate that Battler and the rest noticed that it was gone since last year. Because, well, Tori is a sign of Japanese. Tori is a Japanese gate. And it could very well be that Kenzo got rid of that gate because, hell, we don't need Japanese in this place. We need English theme, because of Beatrice. Beatrice! God, I imagine that he hired some people to get rid of that gate, and like all of a sudden he starts yelling her name once again in front of them. That must have been awkward. So yeah, that might be one possibility for why the Tori gate is not there anymore. We shall see. And the brilliant glory which had rebuilt the Ushiromiya family in the span of a single lifetime was being forgotten. Even though they were beginning the meal with that seat still empty, no one felt it was that odd anymore. Actually, you know what? Let me say about something over here. Now we still need some profiles to load. We have Kraus, and well, I assume that this was Erika's, but I guess that would be the doctors, because I don't see Dr. Nanjo around here. That must be the doctor's profile over here. So we're still gonna have to wait on those too. The Ushiromiya family conference was held once every year, on the first year of October. If a normal family were to hold a so-called family conference, you'd expect it to be nothing more than a reunion of rarely seen relatives who greet each other around buckets of sushi or something. However, a part of the family's great fortune had been lent out to grandfather's children, and no one in his family was considered an adult until they had met with success in business. So this meeting literally was a conference. How much of the fortune was invested? What sort of business was conducted? How much profit was earned? As a result, how much of the fortune borrowed from the Mayan family could be repaid? Or possibly how much more would be borrowed for business future ventures? What lessons had they learned, and what could they learn from their mistakes? It seems that topics like these were discussed very seriously in the past. My dad said it was like lying on a bed of nails. Apparently, it used to be a very serious family meeting, where people were bathed in scornful and angry voices, and some people even got slapped despite their age. However, that had become a thing of the past. Now, with everyone pursuing their own business ventures and achieving success, and given the fact that Kenzo is not here, it was becoming more of a normal yearly get-together. Even so, telling grandfather about recent events was extremely stressful. So while it was nothing more than a simple get-together for us grandchildren, it was still a real stomachache for our parents. The absence of the man who was at the source of all this trouble, regardless of the reason, probably made today's lunch taste much more delicious. The phrase, "while the demon is not around, everyone can relax," comes to mind. Anyway, let's introduce Jessica's father, whose face I haven't seen for 6 years, and I almost forgot to introduce him. The man sitting to my father's left is his older brother and Jessica's father, Uncle Kraus. This name sure is easy to read. Kraus. I mean, yeah, I guess so. I guess it's the Japanese thing. Japanese cannot say the letter L. They can only say it with R. Like, instead of Luffy, it's like Ruffy! And so it's with Kraus. Which normally would sound like Klaus, but it's Kraus. Now that we've gotten used to this string of weird names, our perspective is totally skewed. So Kraus doesn't actually seem that bad. It even starts to sound kinda cool. Just like with Natsuki, I didn't have many memories of speaking with Uncle Kraus. He had never been one to chat to children, and I felt like he was always talking with the adults, just like Natsuki. According to my father's gossip, he was a spiteful and violent man. If what he said is true, Uncle Kraus used to be very domineering from his position as the oldest sibling, and was despised by all the other siblings. Yeah, you know, like looking at him, I did get that feeling before. He definitely seems a bit more, he definitely looks a little more, dominant. He looks like the type of guy that would do anything to get his success, no matter the morality of it. Though despite that, those siblings all seem to be chatting happily together. Oh well, even if their relationship was bad when they were children, sometimes when people grow up and live apart from each other, their relationships change. That's probably what this was. After all, they all had children of about the same age. By sharing the same family environment, they probably profited by exchanging opinions. Maybe because of that, a short while ago the circle of parents began to discuss the exams Jessica and I would be taking. Great. Do you have to bring that up at this get-together? Jessica, in order to escape questions about exams from my father on her left, purposely faced right while firing off a rapid series of comments, not giving him any chance to get a word in. Moving on, let's look at the end opposite from Kraus and the others. In the very last seat at the table, an old gentleman with a sturdy physique sat facing Kirie-san. This was my first time meeting him. I only just been introduced to him, but it seems he's grandfather's personal doctor, a man called Nanjo. I really used to own a huge clinic on the nearby island of Nijima, but he turned it over to his son and began living a life of leisure in his old age. So I guess it makes sense. He lives here as well. It's not like he is making trips every single day from Rokkenjima to Nijima or any other nearby island to go home. That would be really, really uncomfortable. That would be really, really bothersome for him to do that every day just so that he could check up on Kinzo. He had known grandfather since the very beginning, when the mansion was first constructed on this island, and had built up a relationship of over several decades. Sheesh. I thought at first that the two of them might have gotten to know each other through grandfather's suspicious hobbies, but since he was actually grandfather's chess partner. I see. That kind of hobby seems very like our grandfather, what with his love of all things Western. Yeah, even chess. Not the Japanese board games. Nanjo's probably the only person who could enter Rokkenjima despite being neither a family member nor a servant. He looked like a calm old gentleman as he listened to the discussion between Kirie and the other women, who sat near to him. Considering how long he stayed by the side of our short-tempered grandfather, his generous heart was probably nothing to laugh at. Yeah, I mean, for him to survive Kinzo's outbursts and all that and still be here, that's definitely something. But okay, now we definitely have all the profiles. We can check some of the stuff right over here, and you know, for those of you who want to just you know, continue with the story over here, you can just skip this if you want to. I want to check some of the stuff right over here. The son of Rudolph and his first wife, Asumu. Okay, I don't know if it was said before, but now we know. The first wife and Battler's original mother was Asumu. When his father married the second wife shortly after Asumu's death, Battler rebelled and went to live with his grandparents on his mother's side. Okay, I think I also read this before. However, both of these parents passed away, and he has now returned to the Ushiromiya family after 6 years. This family conference is a chance for him to renew his friendship with his cousins after a 6-year gap. Yeah, definitely with the cousins. Ushiromiya Kirie, Rudolph's second wife. She had already worked alongside him for some time before the death of his first wife, at which time she openly took the position of his wife. Okay, so they have some history together as well. She has served as Rudolph's right hand in several shady pieces of business, guiding them to success. She is quick thinking and well trusted by her husband. She has a pretty interesting outfit there, not gonna lie. Like, not that of a higher class man, but it's definitely very classy, very... I wonder. Ushiromiya Rudolph, Kenzo's third child, along with his sister Eva. Eva... I guess I'm gonna call her Eva. Or Eva? I don't know, I'm still gonna have to think about that. He intends to make his voice heard during the family conference to prevent their oldest sibling Klaus from keeping all their father's wealth for himself. Yeah. Something tells him that we're gonna hear Rudolph a lot throughout this conference. His former wife, Hasumu, passed away 6 years ago, and he married his current wife, Kirie, shortly after that. Rosa's daughter, Maria. Her father's identity is unknown. She cannot shake off the habit of speaking like a young child, which often earns her a scolding. She has no interest in studying or making friends, but is very interested in things concerning the occult and black magic. Oh? I see it? Thanks to her excellent powers of memorization, she knows all kinds of obscure trivia. Yeah. I would be honored to teach her some magic as well. We're gonna have so much fun together. Ushiromiya Rosa, Kenzo's fourth child. She's by far the youngest of the 4 siblings. It seems that this gives her a weaker position at the family conference. Yeah, given her rank at the table as well, she manages a design company, but she has yet to start taking it seriously, and its financial situation is far from favorable. That doesn't sound good. George, Eva and Hideyoshi's son. An affable young man liked by everyone in the family. He is currently studying as an assistant for his father's company, and since he dreams of making it on his own one day. As the oldest of the 4 cousins, he acts as their leader and arbitrator. Yeah, I can definitely see success in this guy. That's for sure. Hideyoshi, Eva's husband. He took his wife's name upon their marriage and became a member of the Ushiromiya family. He therefore does not possess spiteful genes passed down through Ushiromiya family members, and his bright smile is very refreshing at the family conference. And he does bring a lot of joy by yelling, "Oh!" once in a while. He started his business from scratch and now works as the president of a medium-sized restaurant chain. This chain seems to be growing and performing extremely well. Yeah, good for him. Eva, Kinzo's second child, she's hostile towards her brother Kraus and opposes him whenever she can, from issues dealing with the family fortune to the question of who will succeed the family headship. Normally, she would have lost her place in the Ushiromiya family register upon her marriage, but she managed to forcibly overcome this by having her husband take her family name. Yeah. I can assume that Kinzo was not very fond of Hideyoshi, I guess. I mean, he did manage to have his success after a while, but something tells me that Kinzo was not very fond of Hideyoshi either. Same thing with Rosa and her unknown husband. Jessica, Klaus and Natsuhi's daughter. In the absence of any irregularities, it is thought that she will eventually inherit the headship of the Ushiromiya family, or technically her husband will. However, she seems to have no interest in all of this. She was born with weak bronchi. Bronchi? What is that? And sometimes assailed by sudden asthma attacks. Oh. Well, that sucks that she has asthma attacks. But yeah, apparently she is thought to eventually inherit the headship of the Ushiromiya family. By what criteria, though, I have to wonder. I mean, all of them are, like, Jessica, George, and Bella are the are the grandchildren of Kenzo. You would assume that the heir of the Ushiromiya family will be decided by who deserves it the most, by Kenzo, in which case that will be George. But no, it's apparently Jessica, who Kenzo definitely loathes because of the way she is. So I wonder what that is based on. Is it because she lives here? I don't know. Krause's wife, she manages the household of the Ushiromiya head family in place, unless that was told before. I don't remember. You can definitely remind me on that one, folks, if that was said before. Who takes little interest in such matters. She was in charge of all preparations and arrangements for this family conference. She possesses a strong... She was in charge of all preparations and arrangements, I was about to say. She possesses a strong sense of responsibility and a great deal of pride. However, neither her husband nor his siblings understand her very well, so her position is far from enviable. Strong sense of responsibility and great deal of pride, Krause, Kinzo's first child. As the oldest of the 4 siblings, he led the family conference. He leads the family conference. Led? I have never heard of that one. I think it's leads. However, the other siblings think he is trying to get all the inheritance for himself, and this further strains the tensions between them. Yeah, I mean, just look at him. Look at that expression on his face. He's a really estate investor and has put a lot of money into the development of a resort. However, his results have been harshly criticized. Yeah, we definitely heard from Kenzo when he was yelling that he wastes a lot of money. I think I remember that. Attending physician Nanjo. Okay, what is your history with the Kenzo? He once ran a hospital on Nijima, but he turned it over to his son and now enjoys his old age in peace. We definitely know that. Now that Kenzo's constant suspicion has reached extraordinary heights, Nanjo is one of the very few people he trusts. Thanks to Nanjo's big-hearted nature, he has been able to continue his friendship with Kenzo, despite the latter's tendency to fly into a rage at the slightest provocation and yell that woman's name. Beatrice! The aged head of the Ushiromiya family. Even though it has already been announced that he has just a few months to live, he is brimming with energy. Though he amassed a vast fortune in the past, he never made any announcements regarding the inheritance, which worries his children. He is strongly influenced by the West and is a rabid fan of the occult. His study is packed with mysterious grimoires. Okay, now we have the servants left. Genji, the leader of the servants who work for the Ushiromiya family. He has served Kenzo longer than any other and is the person most trusted by that old man. Obviously, because he is a silent servant, he doesn't have to question Kenzo's motivations and such. He only does what he is ordered to. So, of course, he would be the best friend of Kenzo. Since he serves Kenzo directly, Krause and Natsuki think of him as being a spy for Kenzo. Yeah, definitely. I can definitely see Krause and Natsuki being very nervous of this guy, because he would always update Kenzo on what the fuck Krause and Natsuki would do. And given the fact that Krause and Natsuki are definitely not on good terms with Kenzo, and the rest of the family are not on good terms with grandfather, they would totally be very suspicious of Genji. Shannon, a young but experienced servant, she's normally calm and performs her job efficiently, but she messes up when she gets nervous. Furthermore, Shannon is nothing more than a pseudonym that she uses when on duty, not her real name. You know, I do notice, okay, I'm gonna assume that the pattern that these people have on their outfits, like for example on Battler's chest area right over here. Okay, well, Kiriya definitely doesn't have it unless it's on her back. But some of them have this same pattern on them, on their vests, George doesn't have it. Eva definitely has it all over her dress. Jessica on her shoulder. Yeah, some of them have that pattern, that wing pattern of some sorts. I would assume that is the Ushiromiya's pattern of some sorts. And apparently Shannon has it on her leg. Not on her outfit, but on her very exposed leg. Okay, Canon, as a young servant, he performs his duties silently and diligently, but is not so highly regarded as a servant due to his unsociable nature. There are multiple other servants with the Un character in their pseudonyms. He and Shannon just happen to be the ones on duty that day. Goda, a servant hired as a cook. He hasn't served this family long, but through his earlier jobs and previous experience, he has cultivated a talent for entertaining guests. Because of this, he is very highly regarded as a servant. And we have Kumasawa. This elderly woman is a part-timer who, though she has quit her job several times along the way, has served the family for a great many years in total. She's crafty and more than competent when it comes to performing her duties, but because of her chattiness and love for rumors, she is not highly regarded as a servant. Okay, we already read Kumasawa's bio right over here. So yeah, no, I guess those are all the profiles. I am definitely curious about, not curious, but I definitely want to talk to Kumasawa a lot more. She seems like fun. She is definitely a favorite of mine thus far. Goda is, he is very questionable. I'm pretty curious about Shannon and Canon. I would like to talk to them. I would like us to talk to them a little bit more, that's for sure, about their experience as servants for the family thus far. Even though something tells me that we're not gonna get that much information out of Canon if we talk to him directly, something tells me we're definitely gonna have to ask Shannon about Canon if we want to learn more about Canon. But yeah, I guess so. I am definitely gonna talk a little bit more about them. I'm gonna say some more of my thoughts about them a little bit later. For right now, I think I've used a lot of my time on this just so that I can read the bios and all that. But yep, those are all the bios. So I guess those are gonna be all the people that we're gonna be spending our time with for now. Still, even if he was a family doctor, having anyone outside the Ushiromiya have family attend the family conference was a little odd. It made me think that grandfather's condition might have worsened so much, it'd be a major topic of discussion at today's conference. After all, George said something like that just a second ago. Something about how we've been getting continuous support since around last year that grandfather didn't have long to live. It's nasty to think about it, but consider how rich grandfather is. At the time of his death, his wealth will suddenly be released, probably along with a fair share of our parents' stomach acid. Yeah. You can definitely feel it. I can definitely feel it from right over here that some of the family members have a lot of acid reflux because of Kenzo. And it will lead to ulcers for everyone. After all, this sort of thing just gets messier when there's more wealth to be divided. There's a good chance they'll be talking about stuff like that at the family conference. Oh, still, it's not like it's got anything to do with his kids. Finally, even though he hasn't shown up, let me introduce our grandfather. The person who should be sitting in that incipient's chair is Ushiromiya Kinzo. It really sucks. Everyone else in the family has these weird names, but he's got this perfectly normal one himself. Yeah, you know, given the fact that he has such an obsession with Beatrice and all this English stuff, you would think that he would change his name as well. But I guess not. Maybe there is a rule that he cannot change his name. If only his name were written Kenzo. But he let us call him Goldsmith or something. I totally freak out. Goldsmith. As you can probably guess by now, he is a frightening person with an extremely short temper. I'm one of his grandchildren, not a son, and I haven't seen him since elementary school. Thanks to that, I have no memory of being beaten myself. But our parents were apparently raised with an iron fist. that earlier conversation between my dad and Uncle Kraus about who should go convince grandfather to come down seems pretty darn funny once you know their background, and it definitely tells you a lot about Kenzo. And I mean, yeah, he definitely has his short temper. I can definitely hear his screams even from here. I can definitely hear his breakdowns and yelling of Beatrice from all the way over here. I mean, Christ. I don't know how you, Kraus, and Natsu are able to live with this. You cannot really tell grandfather's story without covering that pivotal event back before the Showa era, 1926, 1989. Oh? Until the Meiji, 1868, 1912, and Taisho, 1912-1926 eras, the Ushiromiya family was great and prosperous. They owned several spinning mills, making them rich enough to just double over laughing every day as the money kept rolling in. Incidentally, grandfather was a member of a branch family, and had pretty much nothing to do with the main family. Only was he way down the list of people who could inherit the headship, but he had hardly any contact with the glamorous main family. Huh. Interesting. So even though he was at the at the bottom of the family list at that point, he definitely became the head of the family right now. However, during the Great Kanto earthquake in the year Taisho 12, 1923, the mansion owned by the Ushiromiya family in Odawara was flattened. The spinning mills in Tokyo were all burned down in a huge fire, and the Ushiromiya family lost most of its wealth and family members in an instant. Whoa. So, once they started trying to figure out who the successor to the Ushiromiya family should be, they apparently found no one remaining except Kinzo and his branch family. In Kinzo's later reminiscences, he offered to this as good fortune so great that it overturned fate. With that, grandfather's boring everyday life did a complete 180. He was entrusted with reviving the dying Ushiromiya family, which had lost nearly all of its wealth. Which, you know, speaking of ages and such, I would have wished that the ages of the family members were shown. Because, well, the only thing I know of is that Battler is 18, George is 23, and I think that they told Jessica, I think that they mentioned Jessica's age, but I don't remember. Maria, I think they told us it was 9, right? But besides that, I don't know the ages of the other members. Well, okay, besides Shannon, I was told that she was 16. Yep, definitely 16. But Kinzo, right over here, I don't know his age. Therefore, I don't know at which point he inherited the Ushiromiya head title over here, as they are saying. He was entrusted with reviving the dying Ushiromiya family, which had lost nearly all of its wealth. However, just because he had been entrusted with this task didn't mean he could accomplish it. Apparently, those around him weren't really expecting much. However, this is when grandfather began displaying his extraordinary talent and good luck. Grandfather used all the family's remaining wealth, as well as everything from the hair on his head to his toenails, as collateral in order to borrow a massive amount of money. Once he built up a gigantic war chest, he immediately invested in businesses. It was like someone tumbling down a hill on a bike without any brakes, and then jumping onto a neighboring bike, and then another one, and then another one. Another. Jeez. Imagine Kinzo doing at this age, like right now. Just like some crazy street performance. I'll bet everyone thought grandfather had no business ability whatsoever. However, after several miracles and turns of good luck, with coincidences piling up every chance taken advantage of, he was suddenly in control of powerful connections with the occupying forces. Miracles, you say. At that time, MacArthur and the GHQ were the ultimate authority in Japan. MacArthur and the GHQ? Grandfather, in a twinkle of an eye, began succeeding in business under the protection of the occupying forces, quickly becoming very rich. By this point, it's probably safe to say that information, not luck, saved the day. Yeah? Because you know what they say, information means power. I know that very well. That information in the wrong hands can lead to very disturbing times. He must have made some seriously deep connections with the occupying forces. Grandfather knew beforehand about emergency demands that would be made for the Korean War. No, it was more than that. He must have predicted those emergency demands from the very beginning, when he started investing his money. The history books make it sound like all of Japan made a large profit off of the emergency demands during the Korean War. But that isn't actually true. Only a very limited number of super rich played the money game and made an easy profit. Most of the citizens remained poor. In other words, Grandfather was a member of this extremely lucky group of winners. I'm pretty sure this all happened during the year Showa 25, 1950 or so. The Great Kanto earthquake happened in Taisho 13, 1924. Well, in that case, he definitely worked for 26 years. That means Grandfather was able to revive the near-dead Ushiromiya family in only about 20 years to a level even higher than it had ever been before. With that, you'd think he'd revive the main family in Odawara. But for some reason, he went and did something as crazy as buying an entire small island, the Izu Archipelago. Buying an entire island is not something they can ordinarily do today. However, Grandfather was clever. He contacted the GHQ and applied for the establishment of a marine resource base. He acquired this island as a business property, then tossed that project aside and claimed as his own plot of land. After the war, there were prevention measures against food shortages, and having the sponsorship of the GHQ meant that nobody could oppose him. From what I heard, the Tokyo metropolis of that day offered this land to him practically for free. Later, Tokyo made difficulties by telling Kinzo to return the land, but the pushy GHQ intervened. Anyway, it seems under the table bribes did their work well. I guess so. Now we know how Kinzo managed to get this island. In the end, the city gave up in frustration. Grandfather, with considerable skill and good luck, managed to weather the stormy seas of that period, obtaining a vast fortune in his own island. Of course, it probably wasn't all luck. He was obsessed with all things Western, which helped him cultivate his English skills. Yeah, you know, that can totally help Kinzo, that's for sure. No wonder his obsession with the Western and English. It isn't just a Beatrice, it could be because, well, he had to succeed in life, so he definitely made some businesses with the English as well. He was able to use this to his advantage and sink his teeth into the GHQ. Unless the GHQ is English and not Japanese. I don't know. That's something that they're gonna have to read on myself. A mansion was built on the island soon after. This mansion, in fact. Grandfather, with his love of the Western style, made this once uninhabited island a canvas upon which he could realize his dreams to his heart's content. He now had the Western mansion of his dreams, overflowing with emotion and atmosphere, and a beautiful garden featuring all sorts of roses. Okay, so this is definitely telling us that his love for the English / Western theme definitely developed a lot earlier, ever since the creation of this mansion, which makes sense. He didn't just move furniture and all that. The infrastructure of the mansion is westernized as well. So either this Western / English love is not developed because of Beatrice, That or this, or Kenzo's obsession with Beatrice started ever since he became the head of the family in that era. That was like 50 years ago. Jesus. And he had a private beach where nobody other than himself would ever be permitted to leave a footprint. Oh my. This would be a dream come true for any boy. Oh boy. After that, he made good use of his huge fortune, and becoming a large stockholder in the extremely stable iron and steel industry, and was able to live an easy and comfortable life just using his dividends. Well, he is just that incredible. This kind of person usually has the ability to foresee and predict the future, or at least that is how they're portrayed after the fact. But Grandfather denies all of that, repeatedly saying that he was simply blessed with extraordinary luck. Anyway, even a lord like that can't help but grow increasingly eccentric when locked up alone on an island, where all his dreams are made real. Everyone knows that he had a Western obsession from the start, but none of our parents really know when his bizarre black magic hobby began. Did his love of black magic begin way back when he became fascinated with everything Western? That is a possibility, that's what I'm thinking of as well. Or did his miraculous stretch of good luck while reviving his family cause him to feel a mysterious power in himself? That too. I mean, a part of me is thinking that he managed to succeed in life and bring the family back to its powerful roots because of this black magic of his as well. He must have used this. He could have used this as well. At some point, Grandfather began to make the research of black magic his life's work. He filled his study with suspicious books, chemicals, and magical items as he became increasingly bizarre. From what I've heard, those around him warmly watched over him, feeling that someone who had achieved success in life had a right to do as he pleased, but there's no way that's true. They were probably just creeped out, thinking, that's disgusting, I don't want to get involved. Anyway, that agitated period was an age of big gambles, with both opportunities and risks. Let's say Grandfather was born in this time period. He would have had no opportunities and would probably have advanced like a chess piece from mandatory education to college at a later pace, never becoming more than an average salaryman. If that happened, he'd probably have sat somewhere happily talking behind his boss's back. Now, not in a fancy dining hall like this, more at a table in some bar. Then again, I'll bet this family conference would be a whole lot more relaxing if that were the case. Yeah. If the time period was different, if it all started right now and we would have had a family conference in 50 years from now on, this family definitely would have been a normal one. Okay, that's enough about the old geezer. More importantly, let's talk about this incredible lunch.
前菜の刺身のサラダで俺はすでに確信してたね。幸田さんは大したシェフだぜ。しかも魚は近海で取れたやつだろ。スーパーの刺身とはわけが違ったぜ。
おいおいよせよバトラー。育ちがバレちまうだろうが。
As if it wasn't before. He won't let out a big laugh. Damn it, you say that even though you love those cheap pubs.
僕も仕事の都合で珍しいところで食事をすることもあるけど、それらと比べてもこれはかなりのものだよ。合田さんは多分その道じゃ少しは知られた人だったんじゃないかな。
よくは知らねえんだけどよ。老舗ホテルでのれん分けだか派閥の分裂だかややこしいことがあってよ。 そのトラブルで辞めざるを得なくなっちまったんだってさ。
Forced to retire, you say?
それでその時偶然おふくろが使用人の求人を出してたわけなんだよ。
As Goddard removed the empty plates, he began to recount his own bumpy past without losing his smile.
世の中というのは難しいものです。しかしそのおかげでこうして今日後宮家で再び料理人として腕を振るう機会を賜ることができました。
How lucky.
大勢の方の笑顔も嬉しいですが、お仕えすると決めた限られた方々にだけ喜んでいただくために繊細なお仕事ができるのもとても楽しいことでございます。これもすべて機会をくださった奥様のおかげです。
Goda-san respectfully bowed his head towards Aunt Natsuhi.
応募のあった中でゴーダが一番腕が良かったからです。客観的判断に基づくもので市場はありませんので感謝には及びません。
Damn, why does Aunt Natsuhi always have to sound so indifferent? If only she spoke with a bit more kindness, she might leave a different impression. Shannon-chan and Kumasawa-san entered from the hallway with a serving cart.
失礼いたします。
Hey there, Shannon. Kumasawa-ba-chan.
それでは本日のデザートに移らせていただきます。
Goda-san and the others laid the beautifully adorned dessert out in front of us all. Sweet! I guess it's true when they say you have another stomach for dessert. I thought I'd already filled up on delicious food. But as soon as I laid eyes on that dessert, my stomach started yelling more. I don't know much about desserts, but this looked really good. A white pudding-like substance was garnished with 2 shades of red sauce. And elegant rose petals adorned the dish. Definitely living the rich life. Normally, during a high-class meal like this, you're supposed to wait for the chef to extol the virtues of this particular meal before eating. However, Maria was completely indifferent to strict rules like that, so she got excited by this beautiful and delicious-looking dessert, jumping into the fray as soon as it was placed before her. Of course. She's a cutie patootie. Underdoes scolded her, calling it bad manners, but George responded by saying, "Now, it's okay."
こっちの酸っぱい。こっちの酸っぱい。バトラ、こっちのは外れ。
Maya exclaimed as she sampled the 2 colored sauces.
なんだと？当たりと外れがあるのかよ。よし、俺も味見をしてやるぜ。
Apparently, one sauce was sweet and the other sour. Despite it being bad manners, I also stuck my little finger in and licked it. Oh boy. Whoa, with one of the sauces was sour enough to make you pucker up. If it were yellow, I have suspected lemon, but I couldn't guess what kind of sourness would be red. I decided to ask Shannon, who was putting away the serving cart behind us.
シャノンちゃん、この酸っぱいのは何のソースだい？
Oh, that type of question again? Come on. You should know this, Shannon. Why are you hesitating? Maybe her job was just to set the table, so she doesn't really know. Ah, okay, you... But still, I would understand that she's not in charge with making the food and all that, but you would think that she would know after 10 years, right? Come on, Shannon. Still, even considering that, she seems pretty stressed. Maybe I shouldn't have asked. Yeah, maybe Kirie-san should have given Battler the memo on that one. Or did he use some ingredient that we better off not knowing about? While Natsuhi made a gesture that seemed to indicate an oncoming headache, Kumasawa-san, who was sitting at the table at the opposite seat, began to chuckle.
何の材料を使っていると思いますか?
Okay, thank you, Kumasawa. Natsuhi was about to explode once again.
驚きますよ。
全然わかんねえぜ。というか、熊沢のばあさんがそういう笑い方すると不気味でならねえぜ。
Nah, you're just being paranoid, Battler. Now eat it.
で、何なんだよ、正体は。
内緒ですよ。お耳を拝借。
Yes? Kumasawa-san leaned across from the other side of the table. I leaned forward myself when she asked. Their interest caught. Jessica, George, Aniki, and of course, Maria also put their ears closer.
この酸っぱいのはですね。
Yes?
実はお魚のサバの絞り汁ですよ。
From a macro?
サバ
That's crazy. Well fought. Horrified. Only Maria accepted, nodding sagely.
ほう、サバは酸っぱいよ。絞ったらこうなる。
When Maria started clamoring that mackerel was so, the adults were unable to contain their laughter.
違うわよ。酸っぱいのはしめ鯖でしょ。
Ah, no, I totally remember. Kumasawa-san was always like this, wasn't she? I think I remember her tricking me too in all sorts of ways when I was young. The most lethal has gotta be that one. Those flimsy black things in Chinese dishes. What things? They're kikurage mushrooms. She told me they were penguin meat, and I went all around school like a smartass telling everyone, didn't I? Ba-chan.
熊沢のばあちゃん、相変わらずだな。マリアが信じちゃうだろ
Yeah. Now history is gonna repeat itself.
冗談ですよ。今からゴーダさんがソースの正体を教えてくれますからね。
Goda looked a little put off about his masterpiece being laughed at for such a bizarre reason. Ah, come on, just laugh with us. Don't be such a stuck-up. But after clearing his throat once, he introduced the dessert to us.
それではデザートのご説明をさせていただきます。本日はご来賓の皆様が大層お気に入りでございましたバラの庭園にちなみましてパンナコッタをローズガーデン風に仕上げてみました。
Boy, I surely am gonna hear lots and lots of fancy words in this journey. From food to everything else. I don't mind though. I cannot wait to get to that collection of whiskeys and teas and all sorts of brandies with fancy names that I'm gonna be drinking to my heart's content. Such is the life of a rich person.
散らしてございますバラの花びらは当家の庭園より先ほど採取してきたものでございます。ソースはストロベリーとローズヒップの2色の赤をご用意しました。ストロベリーの甘味とローズヒップの酸味を交互にお楽しみになってください。
That sounds really, really delicious, don't you think, Hideyoshi?
なお花びらは観賞用となっておりますので、避けてからお召し上がりくださいませ。それではどうぞお楽しみください。
Alright. Whoa. Man, I almost want to applaud before eating. Just like with medicine, reading the detailed description first seems to make it work a whole lot better.